Welcome back to our Blue Sea Water channel. Today I want to go over a chart I created. And the reason I created this chart is because I get a lot of calls and people are trying to figure out what technologies to use, what tools to use. A lot of people I talk with are trying to create their own home clinic. And there's some really key technologies out there. And this chart will kind of help you sort out what technology excels at what condition, applications basically for that technology. So we're going to do an overview and we're going to get right into that now. Okay, so here's our overview chart. It's grouped into 5 major categories. We have systemic, energetic, structural, environmental toxins, subconscious programs, G stagnation, and detoxification. Then our core therapies are on the left column: vibration therapy machine, molecular hydrogen therapy, PEMF therapy, ozone therapy, a homeopathic protocol that's new, and then a rapid release technology which goes with the vibration machine, and Blue Sea Water, our flagship detox product, Chi Machine, which is part of our trauma release program, and Breathe Like a Yogi for Dummies. On top here we have an overview for the foundation for disease and suffering. We have subconscious trauma memories, blockage of the energy flow, and then we have toxicity, auto-intoxication, and environmental toxins. So briefly, subconscious trauma memories are ancestral memories that you inherit from your ancestors. These are deep in the subconscious mind. They run at an incredibly vast, kind of like a computer running many bits per second of information. There's just so much streaming memory that we carry at the subconscious level, which affects all of our health, our well-being. Number 2 is the result of these trauma memories playing out through the entire body is a blockage of the energy flow. So there's an intimate relationship between subconscious mind and energy flow. This is kind of the starting ground for the core of the work. There's a teaching called Ho'oponopono teaching, which describes this process, and their attention is towards a continual cleaning of the subconscious mind by a petitioning process, they call it, to divinity. Another way to view the subconscious trauma memories would be much like viruses coming into your, entering through cyberspace, coming into your computer, landing in your computer and causing your computer to be all messed up. Until you clean those viruses, the computer would not operate functionally. So the immediate effect on the computer operation system would be what in the body is called Chi stagnation, or the blockage of the energy flow. Third category is pretty straightforward. We feel this is a category unto itself, and this is toxicity. There's a general term called auto-intoxication. A simple way to understand this is, let's say you have plugged up sinuses or you have a toxic colon. The microbes like to house in those stagnant terrains. The environmental toxins, quite straightforward. These are things that come into your body from the environment. Nowadays, the water is compromised. Let's say you're ingesting chlorine, fluorine. The soil is compromised. It's denatured, doesn't have the proper minerals. The food and air, there's all kinds of pollutants in the air, and then food, you can go on with pesticides, herbicides, GMOs, etc. In addition, there's the EMF environment, the cell towers, and depending on a person's sensitivity level, this can create great distress on the body. Okay, so now that we have our overview, let's get back into the chart. So let's start again with subconscious programs. Subconscious programs, Chi stagnation. Once the energy flow starts to get blocked due to these memories causing blockage, So let's give an example. There's something in homeopathy called a miasm. Miasm is a leftover memory of an ancestor's major disease. So let's say your great-great-grandfather had tuberculosis or syphilis or cancer. There's a lot of leftover mental states, kind of imbalances that you can carry in your system. And the term is called miasm. Let me give you an example. Okay, so here is a list of some of the major miasms. You can see typhoid, ringworm, cancer, psychosis, malaria, tuberculosis, leprosy. So here are some of the keynotes. Let's say typhoid. These are states of mind. Bed is sinking, losing position of comfort, sudden loss, or business failure, dangerous, risky, urgency, sudden, intense. These are very deep subconscious states. If you look under syphilis, here's an overview, short form. Sense of destruction, homicide, suicide, ulcers, total, impossible, despair, psychosis, devastation. Now, most people would not associate these states of great mental imbalance with a leftover disease state from an ancestor, that you actually inherited this sort of shadow nature of the disease. Even though the disease might have physically been eliminated, you can still carry the shadow of the disease. So this is what makes the subconscious aspect so challenging, because when these energetic fields play in the subconscious, they literally, like a virus, will lock up the system. These are actually leftover viruses, bacteria, you name it. They're the microorganism aspect, but they're much more. They really do affect the entire consciousness. So in homeopathy, you can do special remedies. We're going to get into our homeopathic protocol to actually clear out these energetic states, much like cleaning a virus. So this is a prime example of inherited ancestor states, and generally the miasms don't go back more than 7 generations. Alrighty. So basically, when a subconscious program from God knows what origins plays and causes this intense seizing and grabbing of your body, a lot of issues can arise from there. So if the issues are more disease oriented, they would be systemic. If they're more like structural, like a really chronically lower back pain, let's say, we would consider those energetic structural. Now the environmental toxins, talking about the sins of the fathers, when humans have created in our culture a lot of imbalance due to their subconscious programs, basically due to the fact that they're trying to, instead of clean the mind, act out. If you do that and start to create a massive environmental issue, you create a company that's putting out toxic substances, et cetera, this affects everyone. So now you're having to deal with this extra dimension of being exposed to the creation of basically technologies that are not serving humanity, people who are not considering the balance, the subtlety and nuances of a body and a mind, and making that a top priority when they create something. So this is a category unto itself. And then the detoxification, it's just everyone now needs to detoxify. So number one, the microbes can't house in the body. Number two, so you get rid of all the heavy metals, the chemicals, etc. So we're going to get into the therapies, and I think we're going to start off with our Blue Z water. Blue Z water is the hub of our detoxification protocol, and it covers a wide range of toxins from heavy metals, chemicals, pesticides, and microbes. So it's global. When you intensify Blue Z water's dosage, you can intensify its antimicrobial, all its detoxification attributes. And we have a protocol listed on our site that shows on how to do more intensive dosing. Now, Blue Z water, because it goes in and does go after every cell in the body and tries to detoxify and rebalance the cells, we consider it high marks for the any systemic issues. The minerals in Blue Z water once will both pull out heavy metals and chemicals, and also they're high level ionic trace minerals, so they're a essential food for the cell. When it comes to energetic and structural, Blue Z water is structured water, so it's superior in hydration, so we consider it food for the connective tissue. It'll hydrate that connective tissue better than ordinary water. It is once again amazing in terms of the environmental toxins. It will work globally on all heavy metals, chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, even radiation and microbes. Subconscious programming, well, water, the highest level water is obviously, if you look at any spiritual tradition, water is an essential part of purification. Water purifies the mind, body, and soul. And this is what we call a living high-level water. Also, if you do our Blue Z bath, it's like going to the very best hot spring on the planet. And it can be very, very unwinding on the nervous system. Once again, for detoxification, Blue Z water's primary purpose is for detoxification, and it goes after all the environmental toxins and the microbes. Now, the second thing we recommend in our detox program to go with the Blue Z water is the vibration machine. And I want to just show you a quick write-up we did. Okay, so in terms of detox, I just want to read you this one paragraph. Imagine doing laundry. You would never just throw detergent in the machine and walk away. To clean filthy clothes, you put in a boosted high-level detergent and then run your machine on heavy-duty cycle. If you just threw in the very best cleaning agent but didn't engage the agitator on your washing machine, you would just end up with a filthy pool of water. When detoxifying your body, this filthy pool of water is your blood, and that is why many suffer detox symptoms. So, in working on the body, the vibration machine is like the agitator in the washing machine. Blue Z water is like the high-level detergent, but then when you get on the vibration machine, it's literally like running the agitator in the washing machine. And usually the wash cycle goes about 10 minutes, and then you run a rinse cycle for about another 5. So if you were to drink Blue Z water and then stand on the vibration machine for 10 minutes, it will effectively start to go very deep into the cells, and it will not, the toxins won't linger in the blood. It will essentially, much like, again, washing clothes, you'll run your rinse cycle, and then you will have, your blood will not get as toxic, and you'll process the toxins at a much more effective level. The Blue Z water itself, it can grab the metals and the chemicals on site and render them inert, but you really need to pump out the metals and the chemicals from the fat cells, from the bone cells. So this is a 1-2 therapy that really, really helps, and really makes the Herxheimer detox reactions much vastly reduced. Okay, so you want to use the Blue Z water and the vibration therapy machine together, and we call this a macro pump for detox. Also, the rapid release is a tactical tool for working on the organs. We're going to show you that in a minute, but these two go together, and now you can do a very effective detox. Think of the rapid release tool almost like the spot remover. If your liver is toxic and you're standing on the vibration machine, you can target your liver with a rapid release tool and get extra visceral, we call it visceral turbo massage, but really it's like pumping the liver. Okay, so the vibration machine is amazing for trauma because it mimics what animals do when they're coming out of a freeze state. They tremble, and the vibration machine mimics that trembling that animals do. So it's excellent for trauma. Systemically, once again, it's a macro pump for all the body systems, and combined with the bluesy water, you're now infusing the cells. Energetic structural, amazing at along with the rapid release. You can work at bound up connective tissue, scar tissue. This is an essential protocol for any body worker. Also, you can work on meridians and work on the energy flow in general. For environmental toxins, it's not going to specific the bluesy water with the vibration machine. Great combination because the bluesy water goes after the heavy metals and the chemicals. So as long as you're infusing the bluesy water and then doing the vibration machine, you'll accelerate that heavy metal chemical detox. Alrighty, so we're going to move on to the rapid release, and that'll be next.